my favorite tuning after standard tuning, and there's a lot of really cool things that we can do with the 12-bar blues in D rhythm-wise. Shuffles, sliding chords, arpeggios, a ton of cool stuff, and I'm going to teach them all to you right now. There's timestamps pinned in the first comment, so you can skip to the part of the lesson that you want to learn. Printable tabs for becoming a Patreon, links in the notes for this and all our lessons. My email's in the description if you want some one-on-one lessons as well. If you like this kind of content, hit subscribe. If you like the open D tuning, hit like. Let's do it. Guitar brain attention span, follow me on in and let's break it down. So very first things first, you got to know the tuning. It is D, so drop your E down a whole step. A, that stays the same. D, that stays the same. Your G is going to come down to F sharp. That's a half step. That is the major third of your D chord. Your B becomes an A, your fifth interval, and then the high E becomes a D as well. So you have to retune 4 strings, making it one of the more tuning intensive alternate tunings. But we all have tuners on our phone. We all have clip-on tuners. It's not really an excuse anymore. It only takes like 30 seconds. So let's go ahead and start with the shuffles. We need a shuffle for the D chord, G chord, and our A chord. And our first shuffle is just... our D shuffle, right? So you're going to play the open D and A strings together, down, down. And that's your D5. Index finger, 2nd fret of the A string. And you could alternate just between these two. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But we're going to get our middle finger onto the 3rd fret of the A string on the 3rd beat. I have heavy palm muting here. We don't want that. We want the chung, 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 dum, 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 dum sound. Just a very cool tuning, right? So that's your D shuffle. And if you're doing just a basic shuffle blues, you could use that for measures 1 through 4, measures 7 and 8, as well as if you didn't have a turnaround, you could use it for the measures 11 and even 12. We are going to do something a little more interactive than that, though, but we need a bass first. Now, your G shuffle. Fun. 5th fret, low D, A string, bar the 2 of them. Then get your ring finger on the 7th fret of the A string. 3rd beat, pinky. Remove it on the 4th beat. Back to the ring finger. And you'd use this over measures 5 and 6, and you would get... just like that. And I'm doing all downstrokes. Turnaround, if you were to get to it, and we're going to do something a little different when we get there, but the turnaround, if you wanted to shuffle over it, it'd be barring the 7th fret, and then 9 with your ring finger, 10 with your pinky, back to 9. Just like that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So there is space for that if you just did a purely shuffling 12 bar. All right, so let's start adding some spice to this. Our first fill is a basic one and it sounds like this, and I'll show you 2 different ways to play it. It goes... So it's really just how long do you want that open D string to ring? we're going to shuffle one time normal. Do, 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 do. The next time, the first 2 beats, the same. Open, open, 2, 2. On the 3rd beat, middle finger, low D string, and give that a quarter bend. Okay, 1 and 2 and 3. Then on the 4th beat, you're going to play this open D string. The one that was always been tuned to D, the 3rd string, right? One and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, very cool sound. Now we can get to it a little quicker if we go 1 and 2 and. And so we're going to get to that 3rd fret of the D string, the low one, on the and. We'll do open and open the same. 1 and. Index finger, 2nd fret, 2 and. 1 and 2 and. And then that open D on the 3rd beat, so it rings out for 2 beats. It goes 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. That extra time also gives you the opportunity, if you want to, on the 4th beat, to do something else, right? And as we learn the scale in the next lesson, it's not this one, it'll be out in 2 weeks, you can also learn how to use that scale to create your own little fills and ideas there. So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do. So that's our first lick. Now let's take a look at this cool idea called sliding ninths. And we're going to use this one just for the D chord and the G chord. For the D chord, what it is, it's you're going to play 5th fret of the D string with your middle finger. The F sharp string used to be called the G with your ring finger, and the A, formerly known as B, with your pinky. You could use these 3 fingers instead. I just, for some reason, find this so much more comfortable if I use my pinky. And you're going to slide it down a whole step from 4, 5, 5 to 2, 3, 3. The slides work best on the 2nd beat. You slide on the and, or you could slide on the 3. But you'd start off and you'd hit the D on the 1. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. If you listen to that in the context of a shuffle, you would get. With the extra sustain that you get from an electric guitar, this one sounds even better on an electric. And now let's say hypothetically that just feels like way too much space for you to go 1, 2, and 3, 4, and. You could do the shuffle, maybe do it on the 3rd beat, slide on the 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are ways to mix it up. Now, the sliding ninth, we can also do it over our G chord, but it's a different shape. We're going to play the 5th fret of our D string with our index. We're going to use that same 5th fret for the F sharp string, and then our ring finger will play the 7th fret of the A. Play with the shuffle and you would get this sound. Very cool, and I'm telling you, on the electric guitar with the sustain, it's going to sound even better, but I still like it. And that sounds also another thing to keep in mind. If you are another guitar and someone's playing through your blues, you can layer this on top. This G, move it up 2 frets, you get the A. If you want to hear those in action, check out Freddie King. So another very cool style of play with this is the 6th interval, right? And over the D, you can do this again with any chord, but this is how I find it. In D, I want to find the root note on the A string. Here's my D note. And with that, I can create those 4 shapes that I can play over the D. I find that 5th fret, that root, and then I get my ring finger on the 5th fret, 2 strings below it. So A string, D, and the F sharp. So I'm playing 5 and 5. I can also take that shape down 2 frets to 3 and 3. I can slide my middle finger up 2 frets to 7, remove my ring, and then get my index finger on the 6th fret of that F sharp string. Then I can move that shape 2 frets as well, 9, and then 8. All 4 of those are going to sound great over the D, and I can use them in any combination in any way I want. So your creativity with this can get really crazy. We're just going to check out one little lick that I came up with that sounds like this. Basic, right? Middle finger, slide 5 to 7. Index finger is going to grab the 6th fret of that F sharp. 1 and. Then we're going to come back to 5, 5, and we're going to play the 5th fret of the A first, and then the 5th fret of the F sharp. And I'm using hybrid picking. I'm using a pick for my D string and my middle finger for that F sharp string. Hybrid picking could be its own lesson entirely, but this would be the best way to do this. You could just use all pick if that's what you're doing. As you can see, it makes me feel pretty clumsy. That was much better. Or if you're just playing with your fingers, you could also. Right, so all 3 of those ways work. Now what I'm going to do here though with the timing is I'm going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So 1 and 8th notes, simple, right? Then down 5, 5. 2 and 1 and 2 and. Move that down to 3, play nothing on the strong beat, 3, then on the and, slide to the 5, 5 on the 4th beat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So cool. Now when we mix that with the D shuffle, we would get. So cool. And I can do any of those 4 any way I want, any combination. I can play them at the same time. I could play one and the other. I can slide into them. You can just do so much with that. Now when it goes to the G, you repeat that same process. The first thing is to find the G on this A string, 10th fret. We know 10 and 10. We also know a whole step below that we have 8 and 8. We can also slide this one up from 10 to 12. We have 12 and 11. And then we have really cramped up in here 14 and 13 as well. So that's the way that works. A is right here. You can find them in other spots, but that's a whole lesson on sixth in general, and there would be more to that. But so that's just a brief introduction to how to slip them into what we got going. All right, so let's look at some arpeggios now. Arpeggios all over the fretboard. I will do an arpeggio lesson for this tuning, but I'm just going to do two of them that work great on our turnaround. 12th fret here is on the A string is our A note, root note. We're going to do this cool blues sound, minor third, hammer to the major third, which is going to be on our D string, 10, hammer, 11. 1 and 2. Index finger down to the 10th fret of the D string, then your ring finger up to the 13th fret. The 11, 10, 13 is going to be a triplet. So we get 1 and 2 pola 3. We're going to go back to the 11th fret, and then we're going to go to the 10th fret on the A string, which is our flat 7th, and then back up to the root. So we get 1 and 2 pola 3 and 4. And I would just count that a couple times. 1 and 2 pola 3 and 4. 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 If that hammer on your acoustic isn't giving you enough sound, you could play it again. You could go 1 and 2 pola 3 and 4. What's cool about these turnaround arpeggios is to make that a G, just move it down 2 frets. And now it's 10, 8, hammer 9, 8, 11, 9, 8, 10. Very cool arpeggio. Now, playing back to back, and we get this. So cool. Let's get a turnaround going too, just because we have some turnarounds. We've done a D, open D lesson on turnarounds. Let's just get one in here. Love that sound. Open low D, 3rd fret of the A, and then the 3rd fret of the A. So we're doubling down on those A's. 2nd string, 5th string. Hybrid picking, again. And I'm going to pluck 3 and 3, open D, and 3 and 3. So it's triplets. 1, 2, pola. And if that's just way too hard, you could go 2 and just do eighths. You could also just do, you don't need to play both the A strings. Down to 2 and repeat that groove. 2 pola will really be the 3rd beat. So it's 3 pola, 4, same rhythm, 4 pola, and then open on the 1. 1, 2 pola, 3 pola, 4 pola, 1. We have these cool dominant 7 shapes here. 5th fret of the low D, index finger on the 3rd fret of the D, then the pinky on the 5th fret of the F sharp. I'm muting that A with this index finger, so it's 5 mute 3 5. Another cool way to do that is 2 and 3 and arpeggios in there. text made me lose my train of thought. Okay, let's put all of these pieces into a 12-bar blues that touches on all these ideas and sounds great. So let's take that from the top. All right, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it, folks. That's how you take that cool shuffle and power it up, add some spice to it. You want more? Come back soon, and we're going to show you how to rock out with the scale as well. Woohoo! You made it to the end. Check out all these other cool open D lessons. The cool thing about learning an open tuning is you're a beginner again, and guitar is so much fun. I have the good fortune of having more than one acoustic guitar in my house, and one has been an open D for the last month, and I've just had a blast playing it and feeling like a beginner again. So come join me on the journey. Let's learn together. Open D tutorials here, open D playlist. It's all about that open D. How we supposed to keep the peace when open D's on your mind? It's so cold in the D all the time. It's so cold in the open D. All right, take care, everybody.